Path to victory, man. I don't know what Lauren's going to say. He's the host of Locked On Bears. I do know that. At Cox Sports 1, at Clancy's Corner for me, Locked On Cardinals. Thanks for making Locked On Bears and Locked On Cardinals your respective first listen wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube. Lauren, paths to victory. Go.
It feels like the Bears know how to win every football game, and it's just a matter of whether they're actually able to do it, right? I don't think each week they have to come up with some new plan. Like, they know their defense is going to hold the opponent to at most 21 points and usually under 20 every single week. So it's just like, okay, can they find a way to get Caleb Williams into a rhythm, protect him, give him decent protection up front with the offensive line so that he can operate, get a little bit of a running game going, and then control the clock and take care of the football. Like, it doesn't have to be super, super complicated. The problem is they haven't been able to do the offensive part of that consistently enough this season, especially against, better opponents that aren't the Jaguars and the Carolina Panthers. And so with injuries on the left side of the Bears offensive line in particular, they're going to need to find ways to help out on that side. And if the Cardinals want to be aggressive blitzing, like, that's one of the big keys. Like, can they give the offense answers for the pass rush and the blitz? That's screen passes behind the blitz. That's quick routes for Caleb Williams to throw to. That's tight ends and running backs staying in to help. Whatever it is, find answers for the offense against the blitz. Then it's just a matter of like, hey, take care of the football. Don't give the Cardinals any extra opportunities. And then number 3 there, then is just let your defense do its job. They're going to get you a turnover or two. They're going to bend a little bit. They're going to give up a couple big plays here and there. That's okay, but they're rock solid in the red zone. The Cardinals will score a couple times. They'll have a couple drives they feel good about, but they're not going. This is not going to be a shootout game. It's just hold the Cardinals to 17 and try and score 20. That's how the Bears play.
Yeah, it's fascinating because, the matchup when it's happening, the Cardinals are more prepared for it now than they've been in the last 5 years, 7 years. They've shown that they can win ugly and they can win pretty. The Cardinals have never been able, over the last, with the last regime with Cliff Kingsbury, they were never able to win ugly. Either everything was perfect and they won, or things went awry a little bit and they lost. And there really was no in between. And that's different now. That's the culture shift. That's Kyler Murray growing. That's the defense, not breaking inside the red zone. I mean, they gave up 27 points to what is usually a 40-burger with Tua-led Miami Dolphins. So they played pretty well, even though they gave us some big plays. For me, it's cutting the head off the snake with Caleb Williams. I mean, you have two of the best route runners we've seen in the last 20 years in DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. They're not going to make mistakes, and they're going to be going against two guys who have played a combined year and a half of football together at this point. So, combined at the NFL level in Garrett Williams and Max Melton. So if you can get to Caleb Williams, that's going to be the best way. And I think you're right. Washington showed that last week. They just don't have a pass rush, which is a problem if you want to blitz the quarterback. It's going to be a lot more Mac Wilson and Kazir White, I would think. Darius Robinson, again, if he plays on Sunday, it'll make it a little bit easier for the backers in the middle of the field to be able to blitz. Give a little bit more in the A gap and B gap for them to be able to get in and potentially get to Caleb Williams. That's a big one for me. Number 2, expound upon the offensive prowess they showed last week for 3 quarters, but doing it right away against a really good defense. If the Cardinals can put up 24 or more points, this offense is well on its way to leaving the train station into sexy town. That's the thing. And it's I just made that up. So, that's number 1 for me, what I want to see most. But pass to victory is getting the Caleb Williams first, and then the offense starting to hum like we saw during the second half predominantly from last week. And then number 3, touchdowns, not field goals. This is what I started with, and this is what I'm coming back to, where the Cardinals cannot afford to get in a goal-to-go situation and not get 6. Their defense isn't good enough to be able to stop whoever they're playing against. The Cardinals need to get 6. The offense needs to do their job. And I am stoked. I have no idea who the hell is going to win this game. There's so many unknowns in a really good way for both teams. How high are the heights for both of these teams? And I'm stoked.
Yeah, they're both volatile, right? Where it's like on any given game, you could get a great Bears performance or a bad Bears performance. You can get a great Cardinals performance or a bad Cardinals performance there. I think the one thing I hold on to there is that we really haven't seen an all-around bad Bears defensive performance yet. Every single game, they gave up 21 to the Colts, but some of that was because the offense had 3 turnovers and set the Colts up with a couple of really easy touchdowns there. But for the most part, this defense doesn't allow touchdowns. They allow field goals to like what you were saying there. That happened to they shut down the Commanders' #1 scoring offense last week to where their only touchdown was the Hail Mary on the last play of the game. Like that's what it took for the #1 scoring offense with your favorite guy, Cliff Kingsbury, running the show over there. So that's where it's like I'm confident that the Bears defense will hold down the Cardinals offense enough. It's just a matter of will that Cardinals pass rush disrupt Caleb Williams and this Bears offense enough to hold on for 4 quarters and win this game.
And just the romantic nature of football, pretty much the same record. One team is in first in their division, one team's in last. It's just, the division relevancy hangs in the balance for both teams this week. And it's for different ways. The Cardinals cannot afford to turn the ball over. They did a good job last week. They did a good job the week before. If the Cardinals get a win at home with one more game before their bye week, we're going to be having very different conversations about this team. Now, if they lose 13-3 or 24-3 to a Bears team, which shatters any kind of momentum the Cardinals have had over the last couple of weeks, we're having very different conversations with Aaron Rodgers and the Jets coming into town next week.